Welcome back to Sims Complete. I'm your host, Matt Sims, alongside Phil Sims. We're going to start this action right on the Believe Sports Network, brought to you by FanDuel. The changes, right, that Coach Harbaugh is making with the New York Giants, and of course with a franchise that has people that are working within that building for decades, right? People that were there when you were playing big guy and are still a part of the fabric and the cornerstone of what the Giants family is all about. And that's something to remind everybody too, that the Giants, even though it's $1 billion operation, it's still a family run business at the core of it. Ronnie Barnes has now been, I guess his role has been adjusted. He's still going to be an integral part in Harbaugh and the training staff and all that, but he has a new role, and it does seem like Harbaugh is bringing in a few of his people from Baltimore, but they will still answer to Ronnie Barnes. So for all Giants fans out there who are huge fans of Ronnie Barnes, which we all are, good news for us that he's sticking around and he's still going to be in a key position to the success of this team going forward.
Yeah, Ronnie Barnes is still going to oversee the athletic training department, which is really good. Look, and to this day, I'm 70 years old. If something's wrong with me, I still call Ronnie Barnes.
Right.
And he'll go, "Hello, Phil." And, he goes, it's amazing. And then as a trainer, he took it personal that if you were hurt and he was rehabbing you or whatever, that he doesn't get you back on the field faster.
Right.
And Ronnie, I'm sure we could go through every player that's been with the Giants in all of his years. He's been there since 1976. That you won't hear one bad word about him. Man, he was into the team. He was into the football players, and he's still going to be, I got to make sure I get it, senior vice president, still the team. Man, I don't know how many trainers around the league have gotten that title. It's really well-deserved, and I'm so glad the Giants have found the role for him, and John Harbaugh can get maybe his guy into that athletic training facility to help the players and just create a better environment for everybody. So, Ronnie Barnes, I'll just say, man, you're the man. Think the world of you. And probably just about every player has gone through there thinks he's their best friend. That's how he is.
Yeah. And it is funny, too. I, being your son, even when I was younger, right, and just big guy's got a cold, right, mom's got a cold, something like that, and just – hey, I'm gonna give Ronnie a call. And I'm just like, who the hell is this guy, Ronnie? And I'm thinking that it's some, pediatrician, some doctor, whatever at this office. But no, it's the head athletic trainer of the New York Giants. So, yeah,
no, it's true. That is true. Everything you're saying. Here's I'll make a quick story.
Yeah.
So I'm 55 years old. And I just got done playing basketball or something with you guys on the driveway. But I get a call from Ronnie Barnes. He says, "Hey, how you doing?" I said, "I'm doing good, Ronnie." He said, "You still playing tennis?" And I said, "Yeah, some, whatever." And he goes, "You still playing basketball?" I said, "Yeah, I do. I do that. But, it's not like it used to be." He goes, "Listen to me. Stop. Quit. Don't play anymore. You're going to tear your Achilles and you're going to be unhappy for years." And, and I went, "Well," he goes, "because age, it dries up. That's why it tears." He went to this, and I basically quit them both almost cold turkey like that. Especially the basketball part. Oh my gosh. I couldn't go out there and play against you and Christopher and even my son-in-law, Brian Toll, and everybody else. So so far, it's kind of kept me from having a major injury because of athletics. So when Ronnie talked, I listened, man. So there you go.
Yeah. Well, and also he knows what's the saying we have, right? KYP, know your personnel. He knows his personnel very well, and he knows Big Phil. There's no such thing as like, I'm just gonna mess around. It's like, yeah, that's how it starts, and then the competition gets going. Hey, something turns on there, but pretty cool though. For him to look out for you that way, and of course, just a trusted source, right? That you've had, in your corner your entire career, and through your ups and downs as a football player, and everything that you endured, and I think just hearing the way that you speak about Ronnie says everything about just who he is and how he carries himself.
Yeah, my last thing real quick, when I hurt my foot in 1990, I said, God, there's no way I'll be able to play in the playoffs, the Super Bowl, whatever. And I remember him looking, you're going to be ready. We're going to get, and he was so positive and really trying to drive it forward. And of course, after a couple of weeks, I go, wow, unless it's a miracle, it's not going to happen. But whatever, at least he had that mindset. And that tells you how he feels about the players on the team and everything. Just trying to keep me positive to think that I was going to make it back, which even I knew that wasn't going to happen, but he believed it and kind of gave me some hope for a while. And then reality did set in.
Thought there was going to be a happy ending there, but no. But it is good though that someone in that position, right, is trying to keep you positive, right? Just knowing that, of course, the injury is as devastating as it was, right? That just he understands the mental health aspect of it, right? Before we even really were even going into that world, right, and the power of that. But Ronnie Barnes, he's a legend in blue, and congratulations to him, and his new appointment too there with the franchise as well. So kudos to him